Hey, Truth Seekers, welcome back. Zach here. If you hate sports, please watch this post anyway. And if you think the NFL is a real legit league, as opposed to something like the WWF with scripted athletic actors, then you also need to watch this post. Because I have been preaching for all of my adult life that these pro sports leagues are completely rigged, completely transparent, and any fool should be able to see through it. But I know that is not the case. Most people are walking around with their heads looking like fudge sickles because they got them so far up their ass. If you're one of those people, pay attention. We're going to talk a lot about gematria, the practice of coding numbers into words. If you learn this skill of gematria, you will be able to see through headlines in record time. Let's begin here, Truth Seeker. There's a lot to learn. The Tom Brady Deflate Gate saga on September 3rd, just 3 days ago, was thrown out by a judge. They said the NFL had ruled on flimsy evidence, it wasn't sound, and so they threw out the whole Deflate Gate case. It's now a moot point. The NFL has a right to appeal. We'll see if they do. Anyhow, the day the judge threw out the case, there were these headlines, and all throughout the day the word ecstatic was used, and there's a reason this word was used all over the mainstream media. The word ecstatic has a Pythagorean gematria of 26 and with the S exception 35. 35 is the number of focus. The name Tom Brady in Pythagorean gematria is 35. Tom Brady's born August 3rd, 1977, a date with a numerology of 35. He was suspended. The suspension has been thrown out. The word suspended has gematria of 35. He was suspended for his role in the game against the Colts, now known as Deflate Gate, where the Patriots are accused of playing with deflated balls in cold weather for the ease that it creates for receivers to catch and for the quarterback to throw. In that game, Tom Brady had 35 passing attempts. No coincidence. His leading receiver had 98 receiving yards. The name Tom Brady in simple English gematria sums to 98, 35 in Pythagorean. The big way, the small way, the two methods we teach. So the suspension ended September 3rd, right? And the Patriots are known as cheaters from what happened in 2007 with the case of Spygate, which has a gematria of 93. So this Deflate Gate builds on Spygate, the Patriots' Tom Brady's legacy of cheating. And he was just dismissed from Deflate Gate on 9/3, a lot like the 93 gematria of Spygate. Spygate. Let me show you something about this September 3rd ending and how it all syncs up, Truth Seeker. The Deflate Gate game, where Tom Brady had 35 passing attempts, took place against the Colts on January 18th, 2015. From January 18th, 2015 to September 3rd, 2015, the day the Deflate Gate case was thrown out by a judge, was a span of 228 days. And this is a very special number in gematria to this nation, the United States of America, the only nation that has a professional football league. The most misnamed sport ever, right? Football. Anyway, 228 days later, Truth Seeker, from Deflate Gate to the day it's thrown out, of course, the NFL recognizes itself as America's game, the United States of America. The acronym USA has a gematria of 41. Deflate Gate in Pythagorean gematria also sums to 41. So another Deflate Gate connection. The span of days that Deflate Gate lasted was 228 days like United States of America. It has a name that syncs up with USA. America in Pythagorean gematria is 32. Think about how the NFL has 32 teams. The acronym NFL also has simple English gematria of 32. NFL simple English gematria 32. NFL in Jewish gematria is 66. The first Super Bowl was in the year 66, the 47th season of the NFL. All right, so Tom Brady was suspended on May 11th. That was the announcement of the suspension, May 11th. From May 11th to September 3rd is a span of 115 days. And what's interesting about that is that May 11th in a lots of parts of the world is written 11/5, 115, a lot like 115. Also, the word leader has Jewish gematria of 115. Tom Brady has been the leader of the Patriots in the post 9/11 era, the Patriot Act era. All signs of the hoax. I knew it when I was 18. I was 18 in 2001 when Tom Brady and the Patriots emerged out of nowhere. I said, this is so obvious. This is all because of September 11th. What a giant joke we live in. What a nation of fucking retards. The word retard has gematria of 66 too. I don't think it's a coincidence. A lot of 66 in this nation. A lot of retards. The suspension that was made May 11th was appealed June 23rd, 44 days later, including the end date. 44 was a big number in the prior NFL season. We'll talk more about that in a second. The suspension was upheld July 28th, which was 35 days after June 23rd. The suspension was upheld 35 days later. Remember how we were talking about the significance of 35 to Tom Brady, his life number, the number of attempts he had during the Deflate Gate game. Andrew Luck had 33 attempts during that game. 33 is the number of the martyr. The Colts were martyred. All part of the rigged show. That's why the game was a blowout. So many NFL fans talk about this Deflate Gate game and say, oh, it doesn't matter because it was a blowout anyway. What they don't realize is the whole game was a rigged joke. The final score was determined before it even began. Notice the sum of 52. The Super Bowl ended with a sum of 52 as well. From July 28th to the date of September 3rd was a span of 37 days. The suspension was upheld July 28th. It was thrown out by a judge September 3rd. 37 days is interesting because the word Patriots has gematria of 37. The Patriots were ecstatic about the suspension being thrown out. Also, from September 3rd to February 7th, 2016, which is the date of Super Bowl 50, which is in San Francisco, which has gematria 50, which is Tom Brady's hometown, is a span of 157 days, or 22 weeks and 3 days. Anyway, 157 syncs up with the gematria of the United States. All this USA coding from 228 to 157. Will we see Tom Brady in the Colts in Super Bowl 50? Look at this, Truth Seeker. This is CNN's headline from May 6th, before the suspension even happened. They were saying that the findings were coming in that Tom Brady participated in this hoax. Look at what numbers on the screen from the Colts right here. Number 93, Truth Seeker. Number 93. This stuff is all planned way in advance. The phrase deliberate deflation in Pythagorean gematria sums to 86, just like Deflate Gate in simple English gematria. 86 is the number of symbol. The Patriots, Tom Brady, they're symbols. Pyramid, triangle, symbol, all words with 86 gematria, just like Deflate Gate. This CNN headline came 94 days after Super Bowl 49. Think about how 94 is a reflection of 49. It was also a span of 3 months and 5 days, a lot like 35. The original suspension was 4 games, which means Tom Brady would have been eligible week 6 because the Patriots have a bye week in week 4, so their first 4 games encompass the first 5 weeks. He would have been able to return week 6 against the Colts, the team that Deflategate happened against. All part of the scripting, all part of the WWF-like narrative. The word deflate has gematria of 53, the reflection of 35, 53-man roster in the NFL. Gate, a 33 word, why it's used in politics and sports, from Spygate to Watergate to all the other gates. 33, the number of the hoax. In the game that they advanced over the Baltimore Ravens, the Baltimore Colts won the Super Bowl 44 years earlier. The Patriots advanced over the Baltimore Ravens and the Indianapolis Colts to win the Super Bowl in the 44th year of being in their conference. The sum of 31 plus 35 is 66, like NFL and Jewish gematria, like the original Super Bowl. All signs of the super hoax. I did a post on this already. You should go back and check it out. I talked about how the Le'Veon Bell suspension connected to all this. There's just been so much coding, Truth Seeker. Already done these videos. Tom Brady was in the courtroom on August 12th, 2015. They made a big deal about this funny sketch. Notice that the numerology of 8, 12, 15 is 35. That number yet again. Back in the beginning of Deflate Gate, days after, when it was a story filling out the off week of the NFL in await of the Super Bowl, we got the story of the ball boy who handled the balls for Deflate Gate. His name was Eric Kester. Notice the name Eric Kester has simple English gematria of 113, the number of the hoax also, the words mainstream, dishonest, green screen, all summed to 113. His initials EK have gematria of 511, that 115 in reverse. We talked about how the suspension was made on May 11th. 115 days later, it was thrown out by a judge. The ball boy's initials even factor into the conspiracy because this is all part of a made-up joke. There probably is no Eric Kester. Just an actor for a story. This story came from somebody named Monica Alba. Monica Alba, Pythagorean Gematria 35, like Tom Brady. Those initials MA, M breaks down to 13 and 4, so MA equals 41, like the initials of Massachusetts. Deflate Gate in Pythagorean Gematria is 41. Just showing you how coded all this stuff is, Truth Seeker. I was just talking about 44. The Deflate Gate ball was auctioned for $44,000. It was week 3 of the NFL season that I made the prediction the Colts would win the Super Bowl because the Baltimore Colts had won 44 years earlier. Obviously, I was wrong, but I got part of the narrative right because the Patriots advanced through Baltimore, through the Colts, the team that connected to winning the Super Bowl 44 years earlier, Baltimore Colts. So much of this 44 coding. All part of the scripted joke. Also, for you Massachusetts people who believe in pro sports and don't realize it's all a rigged joke, the curse of the Bambino lasted 86 years. Think about that in light of Deflate Gates. And I'll show you something about Major League Baseball, which has a 162-game season. Also has a gematria of 162, and the acronym MLB has an English gematria of 162. This is because Zionist Jews run all these leagues. Zionist Jews' favorite numbers are 39 and 93, just like the date of this suspension ending. All right, Truth Seeker, until next time.